Soulful Saturday. Come on in. Who's here? Who is in the house? Just waiting to let Facebook do its thing and tell everybody that, you know, it's time. Here comes the ladies, our lovelies, in the house today. I see Marianne. Where's my romper room thingy? Hi, Margie. Hi, Sarah. No. Siri just popped up. I did not touch my headphones. Whatever. Hi, Trisha. And Rebecca's in the house as well. Yay. Susan, I know where you're from, Susan. How's the weather out there in Oregon land? There's Jenny. Hi, Carla and Pamela. My sprinters, I'm seeing my sprinters, my lovelies. Hi, Tammy and Joanne. Happy Soulful Saturday to you too. And Kathy and Sue. I love this. Hi, Tina. And Carol, happy Soulful Saturday to you too. You need my Ugg boots? Hey, listen, I've still got the Ugg boots on, and this time a big sweatshirt. I'm still chilly. Good morning, Doris. And Pamela. Yeah, I know, I used to love Romper Room. Hello. Martha is in the house, and Susan, and Denise, Teresa, and Jennifer. She's saying hello to the lovelies because they're all here. Oh, you're excited for the new quote? We got a new one. Yep. Rainy in Portland. How unusual. Just kidding you. Maggie, hello. Good to see everyone. Boy, you're just pouring in here. This is awesome. Good morning, Eileen from Mississippi. And Veronique, pretty name. Sarasota. Lovely area as well. Hi, Karen. And Heather. Getting hot in Texas? Well, that's what Texas does. It gets hot, doesn't it? We know about Texas. It's beautiful in New Jersey today. Well, I will say it's beautiful here in North Carolina. It's just a little breezy and chilly. And, you know, one of these days, it will be summer, just not yet. Alrighty, so I'm glad everybody's here. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for, you know, just being the kind of community that you are. You show up, you step up, you ask great questions, and you're lovely humans to be around. And I appreciate that so much. So yes, this is Soulful Saturday. You know what happens on Soulful Saturday, don't you? Yes, you do. We break it all down. We get a new quote of the week. We start the whole day off, and that is what we do. And thanks for the hearts. Hello, Amy. Good to see you. And today's quote is based on what happened last week. And I'm sure you remember one of my, I don't even know what day it was. Somebody's going to tell me. But if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. But if you argue for your possibilities, you get to create them. This is from Kelly Lee Phipps, who was a documentarian and a poet, and sadly has left this earth, but not without leaving his mark. This is a fabulous quote. You know, limitations are really, a lot of them are in our mind, aren't they? I know for me, that when I just started saying, oh, to heck with it, and just, I'm gonna do it anyway, and get scared and do it anyway, it wasn't nearly as scary as I thought it would be. Now, I wouldn't be saying that about bungee jumping. I wouldn't be saying that about jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. I will say that, however, about doing things, stepping out in faith, doing things that I know are going to be a little bit hard, and going through that hard tunnel, if you will. Anyway, we have to go through, we have to do the things that we know we need to do, and this is a reminder, a good reminder for everyone. Anyway, it is for me anyway. If you know what my rules are for finding quotes. If I see something that stirs my heart, I'm just going to bet that it's going to stir somebody else's heart. Because we're all in that same wavelength, vibe, etc. So let's just start with our day, because it is Soulful Saturday, and I want to stir you up and get you going. I want you to think about this weekend, especially my little sprinters who are in day 6 of the sprint, and I want you to finish strong, okay? And this is going to give you some food for thought and get you going. And you know what? I'm going to just say this too. Can we just all agree? You can start any time. We don't have to wait for Mondays, or we don't have to wait for this, or we don't have to wait for that. We can start any time, and that's what this is all about. So the sprint started on Monday, but you can jump right in today, and I guarantee you will have people supporting you. It's on savingdinner.com/sprint. We always have lovelies. You missed Marla because Marla was watching the West Point graduation. So that's why she wanted to watch that. She will be on, though, I'm sure, at tea time. No, okay? I texted her and said, are you okay? This is me. I'm a mother. This is how mothers react. This is how mothers do things. So that's why she wasn't on. But I promise you, she'll be there at tea time. So everybody bring a friend and go at tea time at 3 p.m. Let's hit Fly Lady hard. It'll be fun. I'll be there with my tea, I promise you. So our Ships Free supplement this week is InflaCrusher. InflaCrusher. Inflammation is the enemy of weight loss, of healing, of everything. Inflammation stands in our way. It is one of the biggest obstacles, and our InflaCrusher crushes it. It takes it out. It's curcumin, and it's curcumin on steroids, pharmaceutical grade. And here's what it does, just so you know. It helps to wipe it out. This is a supplement that has more studies than any other supplement on the market. And I invite you to take a look at it. This is what I use in particular before I'm going to grab any Advil or anything else. I am dead serious about that, because when we take Advil or any other over-the-counter pain medication like that, that causes a leaky gut. And I don't know about you, but I need all the help I can get. You understand that? So if I can do something instead that's going to wipe out the inflammation, what do you think a headache is? It's inflammation rearing its ugly head. So if you put this in your cart and you put Ships Free when you're checking out in the promo code, you are going to get your shipping free, no matter what you order. And I always say order lots. Take advantage of that, because if you have a box that weighs 50 pounds, all full of all kinds of stuff, your shipping is going to be 100% free, as long as you live in the United States. If it's over $200, I'm going to give you a mindful mug and a little note, because I send notes, guys. My little notes look like this. They come on these note cards. You know why? Because we're a community, and we stand together, and when you support me, I want to support you right back and let you know you matter. Marianne, our day of the week, the Ships Free changes on Wednesdays. The only reason why we changed it this time was because we ran out. Beauty Support sold out, and we're waiting for a new shipment. The difference between Get Lean and Proactive Probiotic is that this one particular Get Lean had a different probiotic in it, and worked with the particular pharmaceutical grade fiber we were using. We are no longer working with that company. We have gone instead to formulate our own. So we're no longer using Get Lean. We are now using our probiotic. It's still super effective and wonderful. I take it every night. That's the difference. So, okay, what else can I tell you? Anyway, yes, so take advantage. Ships Free is always an invitation to get your supplements stocked and to get shipping free. Shipping costs money. And if you want me to pick up the bill for you, I'll do that. How do you like that? Just have to live in the United States. Let me just tell you, when you're shipping to other countries, man, they've got rules. They've got rules, they've got customs, they've got fees. It gets expensive. I wish it wasn't so, don't you? I think it's crazy. Friday's Q&A, send in a question to support@savingdinner.com and you will get your question answered. Make sure you put in the subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, and it will get sent to me, and I'll answer it on Friday. I love answering your questions, by the way. You guys think. You know, it's supplements, cooking, ideas on what to do. If, like, there's just 2 of you in the house, you know, whatever it is that's on your mind, send it in to me. I did have one woman one time sent in and asked me what skincare I used, what deodorant I was using, and did I have a hairdryer recommendation. So, you know, I guess when I say ask any questions, you're going to take me up on it. So, deodorant even. I don't know. Let's see. And that's it. At savingdinner.com too. Also, we have a newsletter that goes out every single day. It's called The Daily Dish for a reason. It's just one a day. And you get all kinds of worthwhile goodies in there that is actionable. Yes, you can sprint without the supplements. If you want to put it on steroids, get them. That's it. I have a bunch of wonderful stuff to share with you. You know, and I also want to share with you, I have been having this unique experience. No, do not. Take all the core 4 at one time. Don't split it up. Take it all at one time. Sorry, I'm seeing the questions as they come up. The core 4 works well together. I would take them all at one time. The only supplement that I suggest that you take in the evening is your proactive probiotic. Probiotics can sometimes, for people with sensitive systems, upset your stomach, and so they work better at night while you're sleeping. Plus, you're doing all your repair work. All you're doing is giving your gut stuff to work with. So I think it's such a great idea to do that. Take me up on it. I've been getting these Bible verses that are dropping in my head when I'm starting to fall asleep or starting to wake up. This is the one that dropped in my head today. For as high, and I don't get the exact Bible verse. I have not memorized the Bible, but I have a pretty good feel on that. I used to have a Christian radio show and did a talk show and used to, you know, do Bible stuff there all the time back in the olden days. So here's the thing, the Bible verse that fell into my head this morning as I was waking up. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. And I so love that, because that to me is God calling me to a deeper purpose, right? I think he calls us to a deeper purpose because he's saying that his thoughts are greater than ours. And if he is within us and he is prompting us and the Holy Spirit lives with us and stirring things up, I will tell you that deeper purpose is one of the things that he's going to do. And he puts stuff on your plate when you're ill-equipped. He puts stuff on your plate when you feel like, I don't have the strength to do that. And I want you to think back in all the Bible verses and Bible stories that you knew in the Old Testament. And, you know, you think about Noah, who was just this meek man and was seriously wondering what the heck he was all about. But he was chosen by God to do this. And every time you think about the people who were chosen by God, it was the meeker one. It wasn't the one that had the biggest platform, had the loudest voice, and did this and did that and what have you. He chose David, a young boy, to slay this huge giant, Goliath. So think about how he goes about and chooses, and don't doubt when God stirs your heart that he's calling you to a deeper purpose. And that's how I all landed on all of this today. So I like to tell you sometimes the background of what made me think that. I don't have like an agenda or a calendar of like, these are the subject matters that I'm going to talk about, except that it is Soulful Saturday. And that's why I say, when you feel the stir, when you feel the little poke, when you feel something inside, when you see a circumstance land on your lap that makes you say, wow, what's this? That could be God calling you. And even when you do not feel equipped. So here's the thing, if you remember the story that I told you about the black and white churches in Charlotte being segregated on Sunday, it was the biggest segregation in the South. This one, a pastor said, if you want to see segregation, go to church on Sunday in Charlotte. And the churches were burning down, were getting burned down. Arsonists were burning down black churches. And I called the religion editor and said, I have an idea. Do you remember that story that I told you? It's here. I think it was on Thursday that I talked about it. It was a powerful story. I haven't told it in years and years, but it stirred my heart, and it taught me this lesson on how our deeper purpose, when we think we're powerless, when we think we have nothing to offer, that somehow or another, God can somehow cobble together our scarce little tiny talents that we have, or the abilities that we don't see, and turn them into something. You know, He is the ultimate creator, and creators means that there's creativity involved. That's why I want to talk about this today, and that's why I have that Bible verse for you. And I want to invite you to think about this as an archaeological dig. Of course, my voice is doing this now. And an archaeological dig is going into, has anybody ever taken an archaeology class in school or anything? I did take an archaeology class and an anthropology class and a couple of different things in college. It was really enlightening on what is found and how they find things. They unearth treasures. And when you're on a dig, you're purposely looking for treasure. When we do that within our own hearts and we go deep within our own souls, we are purposely looking for treasure. That's the whole thing. We're purposely looking for treasure. And that's part of our soul work. And that's why I do this on Saturday, because so often our goal is, I want to get in those jeans, I want to lose the weight, I want to do this, I want to do that. And my purpose is, and one of the biggest purposes is that I want to pull you together, and I want you to see that this isn't about one thing, it's about all the things. Because I know this is the whole thing, and I always invite you to ask yourself this question: is this going to create a more vibrant life for me? And I ask that because at the end of the day, a bathing suit or a pair of jeans or whatever is not going to create a vibrant life. It's a symptom of a more vibrant life, maybe, and so is the weight loss. But vibrancy comes because your life is lit up. Every part of it. Your relationship with God, the relationship you have with yourself, with your friends, your family, your community. It's all about the relationships, and things change. Things become deeper and better. You ask important questions. You don't just stick with the small talk. You go to the deeper purpose. That's what this is about today, because I know you want that quality of your life. You wouldn't be here otherwise, right? So what do we do with this? And I found a guy online. Gosh, I'm lost. Do I still have him here? I don't think so. I think I lost this guy. But I had a guy online who was talking about this. I was reading about it, and sorry, I cannot give him credit, but I'm borrowing from him, a guy I found online. How terrible. That it's about preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. And while I read his article, I took away completely different things. I thought, this is a good start. I added my own stuff to it. And the preparation for this kind of work, in my opinion, is to start asking yourself the questions. Like, is this creating a much better quality, vibrant life? Is what I'm doing, is this going to help me out? You know, and habits are just the framework for how we live our lives. Our habits dictate what our lives are going to look like. So, you know, if we're sitting on the couch just eating Ben and Jerry's and playing games on our phone and watching Netflix all day, you know what your life's going to look like as a result. There's not going to be a whole lot of quality there. You can call it chill time or whatever, but we also have to be moving ourselves into a different place if we want the kind of vibrancy that we speak about. It has to look like that, and we have to start asking those questions. And those questions can run the gamut. So much. Those questions can run the gamut from A to Z. But the bigger overriding question, I believe, is exactly what I just said. And that is this helping me to create the vibrant life that I want to lead? Is this quality? Is this going to give me all those things that I want with my body, with my mind, with my soul, family, friends, relationships, community, all of it? Is it? So we start there. That is just at the very base. And then the second thing, we got to move into the incubation part. The incubation part is meditating, pondering, processing. And you know what I've said to you before is that we have to respect the process. The process is where the work is all done. If we try to hurry ourselves through the process, we neglect the things that could show up. Processing is fabulous. And as we do, and I don't suggest that you just sit there and process forever and ever, because that to me is navel gazing. You know, just like, oh, what's the world about? And, you know, kumbaya, my Lord, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. It's just a bunch of yippity yap, spiritual hoo-ha. We can't do that. We have to go there. We have to open up. We have to ask the questions, and then we have to meditate on those different things so that those things can have a minute. Ruminate is another word. I love ruminate because we know what a rumen is in a cow, right? It's one of their stomachs, and they chew and they swallow and then they spit it back up because it's the process of digestion. And that's what this is all about when we're incubating an idea or thinking about where am I going? How is this going to lead me down the path that I want to go? And then there's the illumination part. The illumination part is phenomenal because this is where things light up. Where there was previously darkness, now there's light. And in the darkness is where the fear is. And in the light, there's no fear. There's only love. There's clarity. There's seeing things for the first time. One of the most beautiful things that anybody has ever said to me, and this is my Mark, and I'm going to give him so much, so much beautiful credit for this, is that a long time ago he asked me, you know, about what do I need in a relationship, which, you know, what men do that, right? He asked me, what do you need in a relationship? And I said, I need to know that you have my back. And he looked at me and he said, I have your back. And then, you know, a little while later, we're watching some movie or whatever. It was the one with the blue people, you know. It was a big one. It was a big James Cameron movie. Avatar was the name of it. And the way that they said, I love you in the movie was, I see you. And when they were doing that, it just made me cry. And Mark said to me, he goes, I get that. You know, I really get that. I get what that is. I see you. Being seen is a beautiful thing because being seen is a confirmation of who you are. It's a confirmation of your beauty. It's a confirmation of your beautiful soul, your beautiful self. It is a confirmation and an affirmation of who you are. It's beautiful. And this is how we illuminate that whole thing with turning on the light. When we turn on the light, we see. When we turn on the light, we love. And when we turn on the light, we expand everything around us and we get to see that. Isn't that so cool? I love that. I just absolutely love that. Illumination is light coming up from above, from beyond, you know, from down under. Everything lights up. And then the last one is verification. You know, we get to test that a little bit, don't we? We get to test that. And you know how we get to test it? We just get to throw it out there and say, you know, it's like buying a car. It's like getting that red Prius or that red Toyota or whatever it is, whatever car it is that you want. It's the reticular activating system goes off. And as the reticular activating system goes off, it's your brain looking for verification to bring all of these little thoughts into the corral so that they can be leveraged into your life so you can find your deeper purpose. And don't doubt that God won't drop something in your lap that just make you go, there it is. Aha, there he did it. Isn't that so incredible? How many times have you seen this? It's just this amazing coincidence, this amazing thing that has happened because you were looking for it. If you weren't looking, if you do not seek, you do not find, period. You know, that's a promise. But and sometimes, you know, when we're not seeking, we still find, and that's the rare, you know, whatever. But what I'm saying to you is being present in all of this and allowing your reticular activating system to be on, being in your conscious self instead of just doing automatic pilot, creating habits that support the life that you want to lead, And then just activating all this stuff by asking the right questions, by turning on the light, by meditating and pondering all of this stuff, writing in your journal, talking to like-minded friends. This is why community is so crucial. This is why community is so important. But we don't figure this out by just contemplating. We have to activate this stuff. We have to activate it and go out and do. And as we take that first step up the staircase that we don't need to see, you know that Martin Luther King Jr. quote, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. That's exactly what this is. It's exactly how faith guides us and how our souls expand, how our empathy lights up, and our love is palpable. People can feel it from you, and they can see it in you, and you become a different person, and you align all the things, You're in touch with who you are. You're in touch with, there's a deeper purpose here. You don't have to know it. You just have to understand that it's there. And I promise you, it's like hidden treasure. It will come and it will be excavated as long as you are willing to dig. Digging is everything. And the doing will stimulate your inspiration, and inspiration will stimulate creativity, and creativity is part of your imagination, and things start to fall into place, your curiosity, all of the things. Do you know how delightful that stuff is? How yummy that makes your life? How it makes your life go from being just, I get up in the morning, I go to work, I do this and I do that, and I go to sleep and I do it all over again. It changes everything because your focus is different. Your soul is involved. The deep, beautiful part of you that we so forget about. This is why we do Soulful Saturdays. And I wrote this down because I think this is so important. This is a Benjamin Hardy quote, that once you desire progress more than convenience, obstacles no longer stop you, they propel you. And this is a truth because those obstacles now become fuel for your fire. It's like cutting down a tree and not letting it just stand in your way, but chopping it up instead and lighting it on fire. It's now fuel. Do you see that? I told you a story, and maybe you've heard this before or not, but a long, long time ago, in the 80s, when I was doing some sales work in title insurance in California, my boss said, there's no way you're going to get an order your first month. And that was fuel for my fire. He threw down an obstacle, and I said, no, I'm going to cut that up. I'm going to throw it into a fire, and I'm going to show you different. This kind of tenacity is what we need. We need the tenacity to pick up the phone and call the religion editor. We need the tenacity to keep doing things, This is how I got my first writing assignment. I called an editor of a paper and I said, the only thing that's missing, I don't know where I got this from, but it was just like when I decide I want to do something, there is a tenacity thing that comes out. I believe that this is God-driven because he was driving me toward my career. Everything changed after that phone call. Suddenly, I was a freelance writer. Suddenly, I had a newspaper column, and that became syndicated. Suddenly, I met Marla. Suddenly, a new business was born. Suddenly, my career changed. 10 published books later, 1 New York Times bestseller. You see, it was a phone call that did that. A phone call. Because I followed through on something that was inside of me. I took that obstacle and I burned it. You've heard the thing, burn all the ships, burn all the bridges or whatever. You don't want to burn bridges, but you do want to burn the ships. Are you committed? Are you in? Are you committed to your soul work is what I'm going to ask you. Are you? Are you desiring more in your life? Are you tired of automatic pilot? Do you want to live your life on purpose? Of course you do. You want a vibrant, expanding, beautiful life. Optimal. You want to play full out in your life, don't you? Of course you do. I don't know of a single solitary person who wants less than. We want more. And if we want more, then we got to do the work. That's all. And the work isn't like I'm sending you out with a pick to go out and dig ditches in a chain gang. You know, this is not horrible, hard stuff. It's actually fun. And it involves a journal. It involves meditating. It involves taking some time with yourself and with your thoughts. You can do it in the bathtub. I'm a bathtub thinker. That's what I am. I'll take my phone with me and make notes just in case so I don't forget it. And I have a little towel by the bath so I can dry my hands so I don't, you know, whatever, and I'll just make myself notes. I think about topics of things that I'm going to talk about here. Rebecca, you only have people holding you back when you decide to allow them. There's nobody physically allowed to hold you back. If somebody is saying, I'm going to hold you back, I'm going to physically hold you back, then you say no. I don't want to be held back. Thank you very much. And if you have something, you know, if you have an abusive situation, of course, that's entirely different. And I've been in one of those situations before, and I know what that's about, and you need to make decisions about that. We always make decisions, ladies, always. Our decisions are things that will say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to fill in the blank. Or we say, I can't, and we don't. And that is also a decision that you're going to opt out of your life, that you're going to opt out of your decision making. You're going to default to letting somebody else do it for you. You have to make decisions that involve you. You have this life to live, nobody else, nobody else. And you don't want to be held back by things that are sad and awful and obstacles that you think exist when they honestly don't. Flick the switch. The illumination will light the way. Because what does light do? It gets rid of the darkness. And the darkness is fear. That's all it is. That is all it is. And when that light's on, boy, everything's much bigger, isn't it? The world is much bigger. That's all I have for you today. Now go chop down a tree and use that tree as fire for your desire. It doesn't have to be an obstacle anymore. You make the choice and you make the decision. Peace out, loves. See you tomorrow.